Peace, family. You know, the more I think about the way Donald Trump removed this man from president of Venezuela, along with his wife, to bring him all the way to New York to face trial, the more I think about this, the more suspicious I get. Because, see, we all know Donald Trump has immunity, but at what extent? As long as he's operating within the confines of official business, he is immune from prosecution. But the more I think about the events, the characteristics, the actions and behaviors of this transaction, I'm more and more convinced that Donald Trump was not acting in his official capacity as president. He was acting under the influence of the private job sector. Initially, when he started taking out these speedboats, it was done under the guise of fulfilling a campaign promise. I'm going to rid this country of drugs. This Venezuela is a major player in this field, and you're going to go after them with all lethality. This is the word that Pete Hegseth loved to use. Lethality, lethal force. And they demonstrated that. They've bombed boats left and right. They killed dozens of people with no sensitivity, just the coldness. Even when they seen survivors in the water, after 45 minutes, they called for a second strike just to make sure that there was no survivors. This is not acting within the realm of the office of the president. This is even acting in the realm of being human. But this lethality ceased immediately when it came to these oil tankers. There wasn't no rocket fire, no bullet shot, nothing. You went from destroying speedboats to capturing oil tankers. And I believe you captured 3 of them. And I believe that this whole campaign was done under the influence of the oil cartel that's here in the United States. I believe Donald Trump was acting 100% according to their wishes. And if that is proven to be the case, then everything that he's done in this capacity should be charged with a crime. And he should be removed from office. And the reason why I say that is the fact that you were destroying these speedboats and basically bragging about it. But when it came to these oil tankers, your lethality stopped. I believe Donald Trump had been in communication with these oil cartels, these major oil companies, and they told him to go in there, say you're going to get these drugs out the country, do whatever you want to do to whoever, but don't touch those oil tankers. And that's exactly what Donald Trump did. And then once they seized about 3 of these oil tankers, now they go after the president of Venezuela, remove him from office. And then the next morning, Donald Trump is announcing the fact that the major oil companies in this country is going to be running the oil company in Venezuela. When did you take time to have this conversation with these oil cartels? At what moment in time did you start communicating with these people? To sit up there on that podium and announce that not only are you running Venezuela as the official president, along with your duties of president of the United States, but you didn't align all the major oil companies to take over the oil manufacturing in Venezuela. When did you establish this communication? And why, when you were doing these discussions, why wasn't Congress approval sought? Why wasn't they included in these discussions? I believe they sent Donald Trump into Venezuela specifically to get this oil. And he could do whatever he wanted to do. But don't touch those oil tankers. And like I say, this is exactly what this man did. I would investigate when was your first communication with each one of these oil companies that's going to be going over there? When did you first establish communication with them, and under what direction or guidance did they give you in your pursuit of these oil tankers? I would love for the press or somebody to ask Donald Trump that. Why was your lethal actions suddenly stopped when it came to these oil tankers? And all of a sudden, you didn't care about the people that was riding the speedboats. You unalived them and was bragging about it. But then once you removed the president from Venezuela, now all of a sudden, now you want to have compassion for the people. And you want to be their president. What about the children, the sons and daughters of the operators of the speedboat that you unalived on your pursuit to this oil? What precautions have you done, or what provisions have you set aside for their well-being? Or do you only care about the sons and daughters of those who was piloting the oil tanker? And Donald Trump, you said out your own mouth that Venezuela took this oil from us. I would love for somebody to ask, who was this us that you were talking about? Was it the United States, or was it somebody else? Another group of people? And under what influence did they have of your decision making, your actions, your behaviors during this campaign? This needs to be investigated, and any harm done to any U.S. citizen in retaliation for what you have done in Venezuela, you and your administration, every last one of them, especially that Marco Rubio, he's Cuban, and Donald Trump said that Cuba is next on this list. And you're a Secretary of State, and you didn't alert nobody in Congress to what was being done. So the president didn't say nothing to nobody. The vice president didn't say, the secretary, nobody talked to nobody. But all of a sudden you in alignment with the oil companies in the United States. There need to be a full investigation, and charges need to be locked and loaded, because there's no way that Donald Trump is going to sit on the stand, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. Nobody is going to sit on the witness stand and say that the first time they talked to the oil companies about running this oil company in Venezuela, are they going to sit up there and say immediately after they removed the president, that's when they talk to the... No, there's not one of them going to do that. And if you were acting in the capacity of President of the United States, just like you did for these tariffs, that you didn't set up revenue that's supposed to be distributed back to the people, just like you did for this Affordable Health Care Act, when you stopped the subsidies, you said you want the money to go right back to the people. If you were acting in the best interests of the American people, then when they start extracting this oil that you say that was robbed from us, and if the us that you was talking about was from the United States, then what type of money are we talking about the American people getting for that? I would love for somebody to answer these questions and put my mind at ease. But I don't think they'll ever be able to do that. But, I made this video here, and as always, these are my thoughts, my opinions. I invite you to leave yours in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Ashe.